So I just want to welcome everyone. This session that we're having with Chef Luke Campbell, who's going to be preparing or showing us how to prepare escovitch fish. Do you guys know how to do that? Do you know how to do that? Oh, yes. Well, you know how to do it even better now. That's what's happening. Because there's a professional in the house. There's a professional in the house. So I don't know how to prepare escovitch fish. So it's going to be my first time learning. Though I do prefer to eat it. I didn't hear that, but I'll come back to you. So we're part of a program that is with the Healthy Community. That is the Ministry of Sports and Health. They've given us a grant, Jaku Konbit grant, to have health and fitness programs for their seniors and youth. This section that I run is mainly for the seniors portion. So I see some of my participants here in the room that I make sweat every Monday and Wednesday, and they still love me because they still come back. Yeah, that's a good thing. And you're looking good. I make you look good.
You look pretty.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So it's at the Albion Hetherington Community Center, 6040. That's just behind the Hetherington. It's not far from here. Series. We start again on April 16th. We start again on April 16th, so I look forward to everybody joining us then. It is to Caribbean music, so I do my reggae and my soca and all of that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the kind of program I am. So this is also about not just the fitness aspect, but also the health aspect, which is why Mr. Campbell is here showing us how to prepare, in this particular case, escovitch fish. So I want to thank all of you for coming, and I believe Mr. Campbell is. Are you pretending to be busy, or are you really busy? Just checking. I'm just checking.
This year we are promoting eating more fish, getting more fish in your diet. And most of the time people buy a fish and just the normal ways, fry it, steam it, and take the bones off, throw them out, or do the best you can. But there's so many ways that you can buy a fish and have several meals out of it. So I'm here today just to give you a small demonstration on how you can take the same fish and make probably two, 3 meals out of it in different ways. What we have tonight is a baked salmon, a baked red snapper with traditional Caribbean flavored escovitch sauce with the garnish. And later on you'll be able to taste that. Now these fish has very sharp bones. This is what they use to travel. That's their system of moving. So we have to be very careful. And when you go shopping for fish, as you know, they never clean them the way we like or the way we clean them. So we always have to take our knives and do some additional cleaning because these have big scales and they have an electronic system that they use to clean it, but it doesn't get into many of the places that it's supposed to get into. So you still have large scales sitting there, which you have to do yourself when you get home. And when you get on the inside, they don't take everything that is to come out of there out. So you have to do that again, go in and extract some of the excess unwanted in here because it's not part of what you want to eat. So normally we would cut that and take that out and remove that excess luggage here that we don't normally like to have. And believe me, these type of stuff, now, they use this and take that and process it for cat and dog food. This is what this part is being used for today. In some countries, it's a specialty. So have your large fish like that, and first thing you want to do, because you're deboning it, and you're going to use it right away when you finish deboning it, the first thing is get a good wash. And of course, your lemon. We call that, we give it a lemon bath. And it's always good to rub your lemon to loosen up the segment so you get the juice comes out much. Ask the butcher or the fish shop for some ice. And always get a bit of ice and store your fish in the ice until you get home, because you don't know how long you're going to be out here. So you get some extra ice, extra bag, you put the fish in and get your ice. I like to take my lemon and rub it right into the fish. It takes out, these are blood clots that when they kill the fish and it hasn't finished bleeding, the blood clots there. So I like to take the lemon and the lemon take it right out. See, takes it right out. And give it a nice wash.
Proper washing wouldn't take out the blood clot.
Pardon me?
Proper washing would not get blood clot.
Well, yeah, if the veins are already cut, so they will come out.
In other words, lemon.
Yes, the lemon. That's what I said, the lemon. Okay, so now that we have our lemon bath, and now we'll clean up our table before we start, because that is part of the process. So there's two ways you can do this. You can start from the bottom, or you can start from the top and get it from this end down, or you can go from here. I prefer to start at the big part, because if I miss, I have enough time to catch up before I get to the end. So you have a very sharp knife, and not many of us have commercial knives at home, so your knife has to be very, very sharp, and you just go right above the bone, and you go one strike down, and you look, and here's the bone sitting here. So you're working above the bone, and you're cutting along the bone, because all the bone is sitting there, and you go right across here, down, and gradually over the bone, right through the other side. And then if you want, you can turn it around and look at what you're doing. You go right, you might sometimes get a piece of bone in it based on how the fish is formed. Thick back and a very thin front. So the back has more meat, the front has a small quantity, so you might have to cut into the bone to be able to maintain the size that you want it to be. So once you come up to the head, you cut right into the section where it joins the head, and you just take the knife and cut that right off. And you have your piece of fillet. Now, normally you can have this is for two, because your portion of meat should not be bigger than the palm of your hand that you eat. This is a portion that's a portion should not be bigger than the palm of your hand. Everything else on your plate should be vegetable and some starch. This is a perfect portion.
We're getting 2 pieces.
Not ready. So then then you do the same thing on this side, and you turn it over and you come back. Now you're cutting the other way. And again, the bone, right above the bone, from the tail up. So this one is a bit different, and you go across the head and remove and cut into that, so that is your stop point. And you so last year when we did it, over 200 portions for the Heroes Banquet, that simply means we have to do about 50 fish. From each one you'll get 4 portions. And if they're large, you may get 6. So you see this one I'm taking with no bone in it. So I give you one side with the bone and one without. So there we go. Now the perfect size. Perfect size. No, because this is smaller because it's heavier, it's thicker. So I got to cut this one a little bigger because it's not as thick. And now this is where the whole rest of the, you remember back home this was, you fry this and this was nice to eat, crispy, and nice with roast breadfruit or something. This is your soup. Okay, this is your soup. So you have a beautiful soup and you have dinner. So out of your fish, you create another meal, and you can also make this in a stock. If you're not making soup, just make a stock with that, put it in the freezer, and leave it there until when you're feeling for soup, then you go and take your stock and you have your soup ready. Your green onions with your salt and pepper, and lather them with it, other than onion, just lather it with the seasoning, paste them on, and start them up. Now, to fry this, it's a bit complicated because you need very high heat to fry your fish when it's deboned, especially us who judge our food by the color. We don't like to see white stuff on the plate. We like to see our stuff brown. So to be able to give it a brown color, this can only be baked in the oven, and you have to put the top burner on, the salamander.